lot at them. They competed well, and we're kind of just introducing everything from the ground up. And so the great thing about our group is they came in shape, so we can go a longer session today and get a lot of things in. And we're all pleased with how they competed and how they picked everything up quickly.
Are there things that you want to emphasize right off the bat, just to make that point, that here's our first priorities?
Yeah, we had a 30-minute, 28-minute film session earlier before, and I showed them some clips and some things and some of the numbers from the past 3 years. What we want to avoid, what we want to get better at, and the main thing I stressed was effort and execution and how we'll get to that. So,
what are those things you want to get better at, what you cited?
Everything. I mean, the numbers were ugly, to be honest, the last few years. And, when you rank 25th to 30th in a lot of categories, there's areas to improve on and growing. And so we kind of hit them right between the eyes in the areas we struggled over the last few years and how we want to get better. So it's kind of broad on both sides of the ball.
And you did that in 28 minutes, huh?
28 minutes.
Coach, first day, how was the competitive spirit?
That was great. That's the thing we kind of stressed in there with the effort, and we want to change the perception of us as a team and the organization, and that starts with how hard we play every night. And so we have a lot of competitive guys, a lot of bodies, a lot of depth, and so they competed great today.
How did the veterans
It's very evident from day one. You got a guy like Fred, he's very communicative from day one, talking to guys on and off the court, on the sideline. And so him, Dylan, and guys who've been through it have a huge impact immediately.
Kind of talking about being the extension of you on the floor. Did you see that on day one in camp?
Yeah, I saw it this summer, being in the gym with him out in California. He's always in the right place at the right time on both sides of the ball. So it's a luxury to have a guard like him with the IQ, the things he's been through experience-wise. He is an extension of the coach on the floor, and so we're pleased with that. We love to have him, and definitely rub off on the group.
How did you feel the communication was on offense and defense on the court between the players?
Today?
Yes.
It's been good. We want to be a louder group. I think at times, and Fred even stressed that we got to talk more. We're going to hear each other, and so that's been one of the keys. To be a great defensive, offensive group, we got to talk to each other, and not just try to read each other's minds. And so the defense that we're going to play, it takes a lot of communication, a lot of talk out there. And I think guys did okay today.
I know it's just day one, but how do you feel like the guys are kind of picking up the concepts that you're trying to teach them right now, offensively, defensively?
It's been good. I think we got to sprinkle some things in summer league and the off season, so guys have heard some of the terminology and know what we're going to do a little bit. So it was more so for the veterans getting caught up, and they've already been through a lot, so they can pick that up pretty quickly.
Are you keeping things really simple right now, or are you trying to get into more kind of advanced stuff right out of the gate?
No, we kept it simple. We are basically going backwards, kind of doing a lot of switching on off ball, and then we'll tweak it backwards, so to speak. And so we're throwing out the basics just to get the fundamentals down, and then teaching points as far as that, then we'll get into the schematics later.
This day one, but how have you seen men and Cam? How have you seen the growth in competing with some of them?
Yeah, they've been great throughout the summer since we got them in the gym every day. So you see their growth, and they have that talent. And, they'll take jumps here and there, kind of incrementally. You expect that from these young guys who only played 1 year college or overtime league or whatever the case may be. The more we're coaching them up, and they're getting to be around better guys, they learn that pretty quickly. So they've been great.
The time that you spent with Jalen this summer, what did you learn about him as a player and as a person?
Very competitive. He's a natural scorer, and he wants to be good. Bottom line, he has all the potential to that. He says that's just a word to achieve that. So he wants to be great. He's a great player this summer and really put in some work. So now it's a matter of taking that step to helping us win.
Did he seem eager to form a relationship with you and vice versa? Were you eager to work with him?
Yeah, obviously he's one of our main players. Talented guys. Me being out in California around this time, I got to see briefly. So he was one of the first guys I got here in California.
Coach, yesterday for the last 6 months you've been working, but first day on the court, how did it feel just to be back for you to do your thing again?
Yeah, it's fun. It's I've been doing this for 12 years now, so it's kind of second nature regardless. But it's exciting and to get around a new group. We're all very interested to see what we have. We'll learn that throughout the weeks coming up, but it's fun to be back out there with all the guys. We're not saying anxious or excited to that extent, but for the most part, it's good to be out there with the whole group as a whole.
Did you give yourself a second to think about that last night or this morning, or at any point you go, all right, I'm back on the court.
No, I've been around the guys enough for the last few months, although this is the start of training camp.
Coach, on yesterday, Dylan Brooks said something to the effect of he wants teams to know that when they come in, they're playing the Houston Rockets. It's not going to be, just push over, easy win. Is that the mindset and the concept coming from the top down, starting with yourself?
Definitely. Coaching change happens, and then you bring in these veterans, and then you get these draft picks, and we know how much we've struggled over the last few years. I mean, he said it without, we've been stressing that to them, no doubt. And a big part of the film session today was put the numbers 17, 19, and 22 up there, and that's the win totals from the last 3 years. And how do we obviously take a huge step from that? So, yeah, we want to be a different team, and teams know when they play us, and it's not the same as the past 3 years.
You mentioned you want the veterans to help all the young guys, but when you look at the point guard position specifically with the men, like how much are you leaning on Fred and also Aaron to kind of mentor him in that?
Yeah, he's a natural talent, but he's young and inexperienced in certain things, so he's kind of learning on the fly. But just as Fred has the IQ and the experience, and Aaron's been around, man has some things you can't teach. He has that speed, that size, that athleticism, and natural passing ability. So only trying to improve his IQ and experience level in general, because he has some things that are freak of nature as far as that on the court.
How do you envision using Alperen Sengun offensively this upcoming season? Do you have ideas of using him in DHO sets as a rim runner? Just kind of your preliminary thoughts on him and how to kind of deploy him in the best spots to use him offensively.
Yeah, I'd say all around. He does everything really well. He's obviously one of the better low post scorers in the league, so you want to take advantage of that. But he's also really good on the perimeter with his passing ability and reading guys and IQ. And so don't have to be a point guard dominant team at times when you have a center like him that can pass the ball and initiate offense. And so we'll move him all over the court. Want him to improve his shooting and be aggressive when guys sag off him as far as that. But he's a well-rounded player that we try to use all of that.
So trying to improve his shooting, is that a point of emphasis from the coaching staff to him?
Yeah, and then we got with them in the summer to get some really good work in. And stress if they're going to sag off you to take away your passing, you got to be able to make a pay.
Yeah, just different philosophies, different focuses, different approaches this season. So I feel like that was the biggest difference. But last year was more hard. It's just different schemes, different philosophies.
What's the go ahead.
Do you feel just more comfortable, being in this environment, like it's new for you, or is it because there's so many new concepts and a new staff, it's still kind of like?
Nah, I feel very more comfortable just because last year I went into it not knowing what to expect, not knowing like what the league's about. You're going into it like this googly eyed because you're just treating the dream, like happy to get started. But now it's like you like back to work. It's kind of more business, and you feel more ready for it.
What was the competitive like today?
It was great. We was competing from the jump. Everybody came in training camp in shape, so it's good to that we can get off to that good start. You know what I'm saying? So it was just good to see everybody competing, everybody in shape, everybody going at each other. That's a good start to get off to.
You said different schemes and different philosophies. What did you notice? That is a change.
Just different focuses. Big focus on defense. We was last in the league in a lot of those things last year. So it's just not trying to repeat that. Just focusing on where we went wrong last year, where we was bad at, and just trying to improve on it.
Maybe too soon to get into the real weeds of some defensive changes.
Yes.
But were there scheme changes and coverages and things like that that you've already seen?
We haven't really got too deep into it, but just different terminology, different emphasis. I added a few pounds, but nothing crazy. But I just think like my body fat was down. Definitely added more muscle. But the weight thing hasn't really jumped like that. But I've definitely gotten stronger.
What was your summer workout routine?
Just lifting every day, doing yoga, lifting, but not doing it to the point that messes up anything. Still stretching after, shooting after, still running, still getting in shape, still keeping my advantage, and that's being fast with people in my position. So just keeping that, but at the same time lifting every day, just focusing on it. Knowing it's a thing I got to improve on.
Coach said that.
Handle guys in the post down low.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just half of it is just confidence in the weight room. When you're strong, you've been in there, you want to throw them out a little bit more. So that's definitely a fact.
Coach said I went through film study. Was that just plays from last season? Was he showing you the good and the bad, or what was the film study focused on?
Well, he's saying as a team or individually?
Well, he said y'all studied film like 28 minutes before y'all.
Oh yeah, it was just mentality things. It wasn't necessarily stuff from last year. It wasn't a lot of clips. It was just mostly mentality going into the season, preparation, just the things to focus on individually to make sure you're ready to play every night, make sure you're ready to go into this big task of winning. You know, it's tough, so just trying to mentally prepare us for it.
Especially day one with Ime, how would you kind of describe his coaching style, and what stood out on your first day with him?
He's a lot funnier than people think. You know, he cracks a lot of jokes, but very serious, very down to business. He's straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? There's no joking around. He say what he wants. If you don't get it, you might be yelled at or whatever. But you know, it's just understanding it and just knowing that his goal, and that's to win. You know what I'm saying? So you can only respect and listen if you just move on.
How was it sharing the floor with Fred? This is the first day of camp, but just getting a feel of him as a player and kind of organizing that. How was that?
It's great to have somebody so vocal and so energetic. You know, his voice never dies. There's no time when he's quiet, no time when he's wavering. You know, he's the same person every day. So it's like that's kind of contagious. You know, it makes you want to compete, makes you want to play hard for your point guard. You know what I'm saying? Because he's doing so much, he's being so consistent. It's kind of like you want to follow that. You know what I mean? So just being out there with him is real contagious to play that with that grit and that fighting.
On yesterday, Dylan said something to the effect of he wants teams to know that when they come into Houston, they're playing the Houston Rockets and not just a team that they can come in and push over. Is that the type of mentality that you all have? And I know that you have it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You know how Dylan plays. Everybody knows who Dylan Brooks is. Like that's kind of his mentality, and we're just gonna follow after that because it works. You know, he's been deep in the playoffs. He just won with in the FIBA. You know, he won some games there, so it's like it works. So just trying to band together and find a balance of it, and just overall be that team that people don't want to play.
You just talked about being kind of googly-eyed last year, right? Going through this for the very first time. Now you're going through it, going into your second year. What's your impression of how Cam and Amin kind of handled today, from day one of training camp for them?
I know their emotions are probably high just going into it, just because you know, it's just the first time. But you know, they've been around all summer, so you know they're familiar with the coaches, they're familiar with everybody. So I feel like it wasn't as big as a shock to them, but just definitely the intensity of it, the physicality of it, just because it's real practice, real season time. So I'm sure it was definitely tough for them in that aspect. But as far as how they look, I mean, they look fine. They didn't look rattled or anything, but you know, it's definitely going to just get used to it. Just little stuff, you know, schemes, where to be at. You know, that's just stuff that's going to come over time with just adjusting to the NBA game.
Do some of Amin's passes catch you guys by surprise? Because we were watching a couple of them just now.
Yeah, he's very twitchy, very decisive. You know, he's very plays at a great pace. He knows what he's good at, and his confidence through the roof. You know, and people say he's jumping or whatever, but he's not afraid to shoot it, so that's a good thing. So when it comes around and gets better, it's gonna be great.
You already catching bodies. What happened on that play there in the last 5 minutes or so you catching?
Ran a little play, set a screen, just went downhill and just tried to finish. You know, he tried to contest it. You know, just part of the game really.
Any particular part of your game that you want to focus on during training camp, leading into preseason?
Different. I would just say establish. You know what my role is going to be. Establish what we're going to be. You know, establish where I fit in. You know what I'm saying? Establish how I can affect winning, and just grow, just build chemistry. You know, there's nothing I necessarily want to focus on because it's team time now. So it's like just trying to find ways to get better as a team. And you know, I spent all summer working on myself, so now it's time to figure out how we can band this thing together.
All right, training camp day one in the books with the Rockets. What are your early impressions?
Just a good squad, very hard-working. We got a good mix of the vets and the young guys. And Coach Ime did a good job of just teaching. We're just getting better today.
Heard from Justin that there was a little family group chat drama.
Yeah. This wasn't drama, I don't think. But what was he talking about?
He said that your parents wished Drew, hey, go win another championship.
Yeah, they didn't mean it like that. But obviously, both of them are in good situations. So we're happy for both of them, and hopefully you see them and shit. Maybe me too. Get out there and make a championship.
Having been in some camps before, unlike some of these guys, are there things that you said, all right, this is what is the priority here, this is what Ime is trying to make clear is first job?
I mean, just coming out with all of our guys are very talented, so my main goal is to teach the younger guys, I'm like only 27, so, but just help lead and make sure everybody's in the right spot, making sure I'm doing the right stuff as well. So I guess our main thing is just playing defense and getting out and running.
What would you describe as his style of camp or practice?
I don't know yet. We got to get to the second one mostly.
from one floor general to another, what stands out when you look at a man this season, day one working with him?
He's always been good, obviously. He listens, I'm able to talk to him, and he responds well to it. So he's very confident and obviously really talented. So I'm real happy to work with him.
Ime mentioned doing kind of a film study earlier. What were some of the points that he was trying to make during that film study session?
Just normal stuff, you know, first day of training camp. Make sure we get out and run, make sure we take care of the ball and play defense.
Is it weird to think of yourself like as a vet, being as young as you are? But
for sure, it is weird. But I'm ready for it. I've been here for 6 years, so it's taught me a lot, so I'm ready for it for sure.
I know it's still just day one, but as far as some of the early concepts that Ime is trying to kind of instill, especially in the young guys, how do you see them kind of, you know, receiving them and kind of trying to understand what he's teaching?
Everybody's been great. Everybody's been just taking everything like a sponge and trying to learn, because we're all new coaching staff and obviously new players coming in, so everybody's doing a good job of just learning.
What's some of the things that got you interested in joining the Rockets? Was it the new coaching staff, some of the players that were brought in?
I mean, the city is pretty cool. I haven't spent much time out here. Once I got there, I was able to tour the city a little bit. It's a nice city. Coaching staff, obviously, Ime, somebody I want to play for. I've heard good things about him, and then the talent they already had. So all those put together, it was just a good spot for me, good situation.
how do you think your identity as a player is going to specifically fit with this team?
Just coming out playing hard, and obviously my defense and shooting the ball at a high level and running the team, like just getting guys in the right spot. Obviously we're young and we don't need to make those mistakes if we're obviously communicating and I'm telling them where to go so that they know where to go. So just stuff like that.
Is there one season in your career so far that was kind of really formative for you as a player, where you feel like you found, your role?
I mean, everywhere I go, I have different roles. Sometimes you're just out there to play defense or shoot shots or get the ball moving, whatever the case may be. So you just have to find your role, and obviously coach will do a good job of helping us. Just do your best at your role, be a star at your role.
Thank you.